Hi there, my name is Kendrick and welcome to another ENFP male interview. So today I get to interview Evelyn. So Evelyn, welcome.
Thank you.
So Evelyn, can you tell us what your full type is?
I'm an INTP jumper, visual, TI, SI, sleep, consume, play, blast.
So when you got your typing results back, what did you think and how did you feel?
Yeah, I was actually pretty shocked because I thought I was an INTJ jumper. No, I was right about animal stack and so DI, OI, but I got all functions wrong. So it was pretty shocking actually. And I thought I was double feminine because then my intuition would be masculine, feminine sensory, and thinking would be feminine. So that actually remains the same, but yeah.
Got it.
Still, yeah.
So you saw a lot of your parts. It's just it was the biggest one, I guess, was the FI and the TI that surprised you.
SI also. I just had it all wrong. But because I used to self-test on like MBTI tests, INTJ, mostly, and sometimes I tested INFP, but I didn't relate to INFP, so I knew that was wrong. And I didn't really think that I would be decided. That was the biggest shock. But yeah, now I can see it, yeah. So and also, like when I got the type back, I checked my Facebook, what I've been posting throughout the years, and it was all about people and values. I thought, oh shit, I should have known actually. And the double feminine was also wrong. Like I have like the eagle hands, sort of. So I should know that was visual instead of double feminine. Yeah. I could have known, but I didn't look far enough.
Gotcha. Let's start with your TI. Your TI is your first function, but your TI is feminine TI. How do you experience feminine TI personally?
So it's basically what I'm doing all the time. I'm constantly comparing ideas in my head and my own logic and other people's points of view. So I'm taking all these perspectives and I'm comparing them. I often hear myself say, this makes sense, this doesn't make sense, but it's feminine, so I'm never really sure about the result. I'm really uncertain in that area, but still I'm doing it all the time. But I actually thought that was NI because that was like, I'm guessing all the time. I thought that was NI.
Yeah. Your sleep function is connected to your SI also, and your SI is feminine. How do you experience feminine SI?
Yeah, I see the OI in myself really clearly, but I didn't see SI at all. But I sometimes, like when I tell a story, I do talk like step 1 and then step 2. That I do that. So but yeah, I don't know, like, I'm not really an organizer, but I suppose I do feel like responsible, but it never happens. So both saviors are feminine, and it feels like I'm always like looking for something to work, but it never really works. It's not steady. So I feel like I've got nothing to stand on. And yeah, SI is also like I forget facts, spelling, passwords, all that. I have to write it all down. And the SI is also single activated, so it's pretty weak. Mm.
You said earlier that you thought you were double feminine before
Yeah.
getting type. Did you think you were double feminine because your first two functions and your first animal is double feminine? You know, TI is feminine, SI is
No,
feminine.
no, I actually I typed myself, so I thought I was NIFI, and my NF is double masculine, so I typed myself to my masculine functions.
Yeah.
But I knew I was sleep consumed, so I didn't have that much to chew on that. And yeah, I'm not really aware of my sleep, actually. I know I'm doing it, but I don't actually know what I'm doing. But when I'm doing it, it's weird. Yeah.
So your sleep is double feminine. So how do you experience double feminine sleep? Because it's interesting, you know, like
Yeah, I don't know.
like you're in there, but you said you can't see it, right? But it's like but you're doing it, so it's a little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot of time. I'm like when I'm consuming, and then I stop for a while to sleep process, but it's like suddenly I look at the clock and so much time has passed and I don't know what happens. I haven't been doing anything, so yeah, that happens. Sometimes I learn stuff from the double masculine sleep because yeah, it's like because it's movable, so whatever I kind of build is quickly gone. So I don't know what to choose, I think. So yeah, it's not very visible.
Do you write it down to make it more solid? Have you noticed that?
I do. I have so many pages, but it doesn't help because then you have to have a system for the system. Because yeah, and then you have it in so many different places, so it falls apart again. It's not very useful.
I see.
I'm still working on that system, actually.
Got it. Your sleep is also ST, so you are a reporter, you know, like
Yeah.
you're like the step one, step two, step three person. How do you use that in your day-to-day life? Like whether, you know, do you work right now or are you going to school or?
Yeah, work.
Okay, so do you do that in work? Are you like, do you do the, how do you do the reporter stuff at work?
Yeah, I don't talk. I really don't talk. It's very seldom that I say something. Yeah. So, and even as a child, I never talked at school, not at home. So I also don't have the practice. So now at work, when there's a meeting, like I can write, so I do that. And when there's a meeting, I just like hope they say my name and then I know I have to listen because I also have a problem listening. So it's both ways.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's very bad actually. But yeah, they're used to it now, so I'm good.
Oh geez, can't talk and listen.
Yeah, it's really extreme.
Is it a sleep? Like you can't listen because you're always in like in
Yeah, yeah, I space out like after 10 minutes. And also like podcasts and audiobooks, I can't do it. It's
Oh.
so boring. And in school, I could also never pay attention. They had to actually write something on the blackboard, or I just sat there and I don't know what happened. I guess I'm sleeping, but I'm sleep processing, but it's such an unconscious process for me. And like when I watch a movie, I always need subs. If I don't, I can't find subs, then I don't want to watch the movie because I know I'm gonna miss parts of the story. So yeah.
So you can't go to the movie theater because they don't have subs. You have to watch.
They have subs.
Yeah.
In Belgium, they do.
your sleep first, so you are always preserving your energy. So talk about, preserving your energy all day.
Yeah, it's like having a hard time waking up, and actually I get more energy at night, so like after 10 p.m. and well, preserving, it's like it feels like I never have the energy to begin with. So I don't know. It's not like I'm doing it on purpose, you know. And most of the day I'm consuming, so that doesn't take much energy, I think. And play, I never get to play most of the time. So blast is really, really difficult.
You said earlier that you have trouble learning in school, unless someone writes something on the board.
Yeah.
So you're a visual. So how would you learn then through visual? Like, do you need a lot of charts, a lot of diagrams? Is that the best way for you to learn, or how do you?
Yeah, I mostly watch YouTube. That's the easiest. And when I read a book or something, then I would like draw the concepts, and that helps a lot. I think that's also the tester modality related to note taking. I have tons of notebooks laying around. That's how I learn.
Gotcha. So with tester likes to experiment and try different things. Do you also like to experiment and try different things?
Sometimes I used to more when I was younger, I think, but when I became older, I kind of narrowed down even faster. So now I'm like done with choosing. I just go with the one that I think is best, and yeah, I don't test anymore that much. I feel like I want to like consume what I've already narrowed down by sleep, I guess. And so I'm not like going around looking for new that much, I think.
Your second animal is consume. So that's actually it feels like might be stronger for you because double activated consume.
Yeah.
Talk about your NT consume, like consuming logic and science and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's really an addiction. I can't stop it, and it's really annoying because I can't remember any of it anyway. So, yeah, and yeah, I don't know if it's NTST I'm consuming, I guess. A lot of educational stuff, space-time, typology now, and but I get so kind of anxious about it because I can never keep up with my watch list, and yeah, every day there comes new stuff that I add, but I never get to it. Yeah.
You have masculine NE as part of your consume. How do you experience masculine NE?
This is the one that I don't know actually. As part of consume, not sure, but I do feel like it's a demon because like I often like relate the wrong fact to the concept, and like I'm if I have to guess, I'm pretty good, but I'm normally in a kind of mode where I shut off that part of my brain. So because I don't want to guess actually, because it's scary. There's so much possibilities. But if I have to guess, then I'm pretty good at seeing concepts, I think.
You so masculine NE gathers concepts and patterns. Yours is masculine. So do you feel confident about the concepts and patterns that you've gathered?
Yeah, a bit too confident.
Too confident. Okay.
Yeah, I'm often wrong, and yeah.
Do you have a good memory also for patterns and concepts?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's hard to prove, of course, but like I don't know how to prove it, but I think I do.
Your next animal is FE. That's your weakest one, supposedly, but it's masculine FE. So how do you experience masculine extrovert feeling?
Pretty immovable. Like, if someone tells a joke and I don't find it funny, I'm going to have a hard time to laugh. And but most of the time it's demon, so most of the time I'm not very aware of my feelings or anyone else's feelings. But I lost it.
It's okay.
So
let me give you some examples. So masculine extrovert feeling, there's like a tribe spectrum of values. So do you adhere to the tribe spectrum of values, like with your family, friends, like social group? Like do you
no,
see it?
no.
No, you don't. Okay. I mean, you're an IP, so it's fine.
Yeah. I'm pretty much a loner, so. But yeah, I really have a hard time looking at the spectrum. And I also feel like when I said I was uncertain about my logic, I also feel like I'm a bit too confident on like, okay, now the tribe values are wrong, but I haven't really dived deep into it. And yeah, it's very different from what I hear from the feminine FE. It's yeah, but also I'm still like, I think I am masculine FI, but it's different. Yeah, I'm still figuring that one out.
No worries. Your double masculine animal is the play. Double masculine NF play. So when you do get a chance to play, when it does happen, like third, it's a demon, but it's like your hobby animal. How aggressive can it be? You know, but it's NF, so it's like hippie, right? So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's not very aggressive. It's pretty weak actually, but I do feel like sometimes I want to do it, but then I don't do it. And then when somebody else does it, I'm happy.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I don't know what it actually is. I sometimes, like, I was looking at the Airtable and I saw double masculine NEFE is Ellen DeGeneres. And I thought, oh, that makes sense. Because I don't find her funny, but I kind of feel that's what I want to do, but I never do that, of course.
Okay.
Like, sort of being, like, changing the vibe of the room, sort of. Yeah, but it's pretty weak.
Well, yours will be stronger than her because hers is not double masculine. Hers is like, you know, she has feminine NE, right? Like she's double masculine. So
Is she?
yeah.
Oh.
So there's not many visuals out there. So visuals is like the rarest of the sexual modalities, right? So,
Okay.
yeah, there's not. I don't know who to use as an example for that then, but yeah. So.
But yeah, I feel like when I compare to someone who has double masculine blast, that's very different. So actually go into Hulk mode.
Yeah.
I don't have that. Mine is yeah, it's a bit silly, I think.
So let's go back to NF play. Your NF play is NF means purpose and mission in life, you know, meaning. So because you have it in a play state, when you talk to other people, is your preferred, like I know you said you don't like to talk that much, but you said that you like it when people initiate play.
Did I?
Yeah, you just said it earlier. Yeah, you said it earlier, but you said you like it, but so if someone does initiate play with you, do you prefer it in like in a way where you talk about like, oh, what are you working on in life? What's your purpose? What's your goal? What's your mission? You know, what is like, you know, what are you like? What's your mission? You know, what are you up to? You know, like what's your long-term goal? Like, is it that like what matters to you? What's meaningful for you? Is it those kind of conversation that you enjoy? Like if you were to have a conversation with someone?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's better than small talk at least.
Yeah, because it's deeper, right? You're having a
Yeah,
conversation on like, you know, what matters the most to you, you know?
yeah. But most of the time, I don't actually like when people initiate play.
Oh, okay.
I'm still, yeah, I need like to prepare.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. I thought you said earlier that you like it when people initiate.
Yeah, when they do it to each other, and I'm just watching.
Okay, so you like to watch it, but you don't like to be part of it.
Yeah.
Like you like to be the fly on the wall, like this
Yeah.
listening in. Okay. I interviewed someone before that she'll probably watch this, but she's like a ISFP and she is consume sleep play blast, and she said she loves meetings and she likes to be the fly on the wall listening into meetings and stuff. So she doesn't want to be like the person talking, but she likes to like listen into what the tribe is saying. So do you feel like something similar where you're like,
yeah, except the listening, like I want to know it, but I don't like listening, so I
oh,
would,
okay,
yeah, so I would like read about it or yeah, search for information on YouTube, I guess. That's my main go-to. But yeah, I like to know, but just not by listening.
I see. So I'm trying to look at your sleep and your play because that's like the opposite axis, you could say. So you have an interesting type because your sleep is double feminine and your play is double masculine. But sleep also means having like a permanent wall with the tribe, right? Like it's like a, you know, like it's a wall,
Yeah.
but it's feminine, so the wall's not very strong. So like I'm just trying to understand you where like you have a wall with a tribe. It's a flimsy wall because it's double feminine. But in your play is double masculine actually. So when you get started with play, it might be something that you might actually enjoy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like do you not like talking to people? Like is there anybody that you like talking to and like you enjoy having like a conversation with?
Yeah. Yeah. In small bursts. Yeah. But some like when it goes wrong and then I feel like my identity is like down, then I have to take time again to build it up. And I don't see that with double masculine sleep. So sometimes I when I'm playing, it's a bit too aggressive. And then I have to retreat again and isolate myself again till I'm back to normal, build that sleep again, and then I'm ready. Then I go back to the tribe and do the same thing again.
I see.
Yeah.
So play is also expending energy for the tribe. So it's third. So it's supposed to be a hobby. When do you expend energy for the tribe? Because it's like because it's a hobby, so it does still exist. You know, like do you do it for your family?
I don't know. I can see my blast easier than, but not in speaking, of course, but like I want to like write for people, or so I'm doing music production as well. So I want to, that's also kind of blast, I think. So I can see that, but pure play is really hard to see. But maybe because I'm it's still masculine, and I don't want to be too aggressive. That's maybe why I don't do it so often. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Let's go with your last animal then. Blast last. SF. It's SF. So it's like the cool, the popular. You said you're doing music production, which is like, you know, along the SF.
Yeah.
But your blast is last. So, you know, blast is correlated to people going up to you, and it's like, for example, like a good example of SF blast is like, let's say someone comes over to your place and you're like, here, sit down on this chair, make yourself comfortable, have some tea, you know, like trying to make them feel good, right? Like feel comfortable. You know, or another thing that SF blast people do is like they like to give gifts that are like shiny, like a fruit basket, or you know, something fun, you know, like, so so, and then there's also Jordan Peterson. Like I'm listening to his audiobook right now, 12 Rules for Life. And he has like so because it's SIFI, so there's like a step by step when you're trying to make someone feel better or trying to make someone behave a certain way. So for example, in the book, he uses SIFE to like make kids behave properly, right? It's like, okay, step one, do this, step two, do this, you know, step one, you know, talk to the kid this way. Step two, push the kid down the bed to make sure that they don't stand up and they fall asleep, you know. Step three, you know, say this to the kid. So there's like a step by step. So do you do any of that stuff?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Nothing. Okay.
No, I really hate telling people what to do, even if it's in a positive way. I don't like doing that at all. No.
All right. Well, let's talk about you being an IP. So you're an IP, so your biggest fear is tribe hate. So talk about the fear of tribe hate.
Yeah. I guess that's actually the main reason I'm pretty much a loner. Because yeah, it's really difficult to, especially because I really suck at talking and listening, so it's really hard to connect to people. And I don't know, but I'm actually fine by myself, so I don't need that many people anyway. And yeah, so yeah, like the last couple of days I got into a couple of arguments and I realized I was wrong, so that kind of sucked. And it's also because the masculine FE, I was a bit too direct and came off as harsh. So I have to hold back. Yeah, I have to learn how to hold back when I'm actually talking. It was about like, I'm happy, like when I find something, I'm happy that I get it out. I know how to find the words, and then I have to also like do the allegedly talk as well. It's like super difficult. And so my message was a bit too harsh because I didn't qualify myself. And yeah, that's sort of a mini tidal wave I had.
What do you mean you didn't qualify yourself?
Well, I tend to like make a generalization, and I didn't say like generally speaking, and then the statement, that kind of thing. So the statement came off as too harsh, and the other person was offended. Yeah.
You can tell they were offended?
They said it outright. So
Oh, they said they were offended.
they stopped making statements like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you talk to someone also that has masculine DE also?
Yeah. No, it was masculine TI.
Oh, I see. They thought your logic was wrong, so they corrected you.
They said I shouldn't give my subjective opinion without the statistics to back it up, and I said I never have the statistics because I forget that, obviously.
Yeah.
My feminine SI, and then they said I don't care about your function.
Oh, you told them about. Oh, okay. This person also knows about like functions and stuff, like.
Yeah, it's someone from the community.
Oh, the community. I see. Okay, I don't know who's that person. I'm curious now.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, you can tell me later. I'm curious.
Okay.
Who's this person? It's like, okay. I'll track.
It was actually not one person. It was several persons.
Oh, so several people in the tribe. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it in the Facebook group?
They're right. I really have to do that. But yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, so I think one of the reason why you got a tidal wave too is maybe you're not info dominant, you're like energy dominant. So
yeah, that also.
Okay, so let's talk about the problem by not being info dominant. There's a saying where unless you can teach what you've learned, you don't really know the information as well. So
and I don't know anything.
Yeah, so like a lot of people that are like, high consume but like blast last, because you've sleep processed the information and you consumed it, and you might even have discussed it with someone, play, but to teach it, it's different because you have to organize. And the thing is, the interesting thing about your type is you are OI, you are organized, right? So technically your information would be more organized than someone that is consumed sleep because you're savior OI.
Yeah.
But yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I do have like I said, I have like thousands of pages of things I've learned that I actually organized, but it's still like when you need it at the right time, I kind of know where it is, but they're still consuming more, so I can never keep up. That's the problem. But yeah, blast. I do feel like I don't know anything at this point. If you would ask me something else, not about functions, I would just not be able to give you an answer. But I know, like, even when I read the book, like, I know where I put my info, so I would just read what I wrote down to you.
So you are TI. TI is correlated to intelligence. So your identity would be tied to your intelligence. And then you are saying that you don't know anything. Like you're saying that during the interview. Do you feel insecure about that because because you're saver TI, so you want to be smart. But then if you say you don't know anything, then that's kind of like making fun of your own intelligence. So how do you feel about like having intelligence as your identity, but then also saying that you're forgetting everything because it's double feminine, right?
Yeah, it's just some kind of intelligence, but just not in facts. And like when I'm learning something that's difficult, I think I'm pretty good at understanding it and analyzing it. It's in the moment, but I suppose I remember the concept. But yeah, the blast, I never get there. So, but I don't feel insecure about my intelligence. Just speak is really difficult.
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, anything that has to do with blast.
I see. So it's
what?
Go for it. No, I was just saying. So it's a tribe. Dealing with a tribe is where your insecurity is.
Yeah. But even like when they ask something and they're not sure, and I know the right answer, and I tell them that, then they look at me like they don't know because I never sound convincing enough. So yeah, because I don't know how to blast at all. So yeah.
Okay, so the interesting thing about blast, because you said that you blasted in the community about your information, and then someone called you out saying it's not factually wrong, right? You don't have any, like, I don't know, statistics to back it up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing about blast is you are supposed to say it to the tribe, and the tribe is supposed to get mad at you because the tribe feedback is what fixes the information.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so but then you're not a double decider, so it makes it a little bit harder because, like, for
Yeah.
me, like, when I first started out with YouTube, and I have a travel blog too, and I would put information out that might not be accurate, then people might attack me also, right? So then I had to learn how to tighten up the information to make sure that it's super accurate and super it's foolproof, that if any argument comes in, I always have a way to support my arguments. But it's only done by repetitive blast. Like, it's like you blast, people get mad at you, then you blast again, people get mad at you, but then, like, the more you do it, the less people get mad at you because your information is getting better because you're practicing, and then it's like it's getting stronger and better, and you have better supporting documents. So because I'm a double decider, I'm not afraid of people getting mad at me. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't care if you're mad. Let's try again. Let's try again. Let's try again. Right.
Yeah.
But for you, because you're like an IP, so you tried it and you're like, oh, people get mad. I'm done. I'm not doing it again. And then you don't get to, like, upgrade yourself and improve, right? Because then,
Yeah. But are you talking about the same information you blast over and over again, or is this new information every
well, I
time?
mean, it's the same topic. Like, for me, I have two YouTube channels. I have the ENFP mail for the ops, and then I have a travel one, right? So I do blast information on both those channels, and I do, like, every year I go back to the same topic and I talk about it again. And I do notice that every year it does improve. Like, my delivery improves, the information is more solid, but only because I practice. Like, the first time I did it, I was watching my old videos, I'm cringing, right? I'm like, oh fuck, it's so shitty, but like over time, I noticed, like, oh, there is an improvement. It's getting better, so um so that's my take on blast. I mean, obviously, like, I'm trying to understand your perspective and how scary the tribe is, so it's hard to practice that.
Yeah, but also, like, it's just so draining, and like, and it's not very, like, fulfilling when I do it. So, and I feel like I'm really anxious about all the consume I still have to do, and that pile gets bigger, and kind of like, okay, that's probably the IP talking, but I feel like I need to consume and then adapt to blast, I think, or at least update to blast. So I feel like I would be wasting time to practice the blasts of one subject while I still have so much consume to do.
Yeah.
And that might go against the thing I want to blast. So yeah.
Well, okay, blast is not fulfilling until you've gotten to a certain level of competence with blast. It's so, if you're like a beginner at blast, then of course it's not gonna be fulfilling. It's gonna be frustrating. It's gonna be annoying. It's gonna suck. So I mean, when I first started my videos, it was horrible. I hated it. But over time it improved. So, and it became more fulfilling as I got to a level where I don't feel like it's so cringy anymore. But like but also, like, with the consume thing is tricky because you're like, oh, I need to consume more, I need to learn more, but you don't know how solid your knowledge is until, like, you can concisely explain to someone.
Yeah, but I don't know, but the TI is so like in the way of everything. It's really weird because It's like I wanna, like, if I would blast, I would want to blast that what people would like need to hear, but it's kind of conflicting with my TI.
What is the conflict with your TI? Like, what is your TI thing?
Well, but whenever I like my TI wants like to fight like everything basically,
Okay.
and so like I know people don't want to hear it, like they want to have a positive message, like especially when you're like in the community and your group mindsets, and my TI wants to fight it all the time, so I feel like I want to blast, but at the same time it goes against my DI, and like one of the arguments I had this week was about someone posted a quote and I took it too literally, but yeah, I know that they meant the concept behind it, but I feel like even the concept behind it was wrong, and but yeah, that's just a TI.
Oh, you took it personally, you mean? Like
No, I took like someone wanted to say something like, for example, hope is everything. I hate it. My TI goes nuts, like, so they just meant that hope is good, I guess, but I was like, yeah, so despair means hope too then, and and my TI, like, I hate that kind of quote, and I know that that's not what people want to hear, so, and then thinking I won't also do the blast, but yeah, do you kind of know what I mean?
yeah, no, I get it. Like, I think your TI was going crazy because hope is everything. That's not accurate. It's like
Yeah, and then it's like with all kind of information, it just
it sounds kind of gross too. Like hope is everything. That sounds so gross. Like, shut up, you know.
I'm so
Yeah.
but it, yeah, but the blast would be Si+Fe, so it actually doesn't have anything to do with my TI.
Yeah. Yeah, your blast is SIFE, so it's like SF, right? It's like,
Yeah,
you know, making people feel nice and comfortable. It's not.
yeah, it
Yeah.
just, yeah.
Well, I mean, okay. So because you have masculine DE, masculine FE, you perceive the tribe as aggressive. So, but they actually said that, you know, like when you have masculine DE, you are the person that's aggressive. It's not the tribe. So how do you what do you think about that? Because like I have feminine FE, feminine TE, right? So I think everybody's friendly. That's why I'm not scared of the tribe, right? Because it's feminine TE, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, everyone's friendly. Even aggressive people are friendly too. They just don't know what they're saying, you know. So like talk about like the perspective, a perception that everyone is aggressive, like the whole tribe is aggressive.
Yeah, I used to like think, but sometimes when they say something and then I have to reconsider all the possibilities, and it feels like everything I've built is now I have to rebuild and take so much energy, so I kind of don't want to hear their opinion in a way, and yeah, scared of the tribe too. Yeah, I used to think it was because most people I know are like stronger, but I guess it's not very logical. It's more like a sort of visceral feeling. Like when I walk in the street, I notice I go further away than necessary when I have to pass people. So yeah, little things like that.
Yeah.
And like the people I'm most scared of are the masculine savior FE.
Oh, okay.
We don't get along. Yeah.
Okay, so what's scary about masculine FE versus masculine TE? Like what's Like, what's the difference in your
like their FE is way stronger than mine, so I can never win. and because my feeling is also like not very movable, but then they do move it, and then I'm annoyed because I didn't want to be moved, and even if they meant it in a good way, I still get annoyed. But like in the TE, that's different. Right? That's more kind of funny.
Oh, okay. So TE is okay, but the FE.
Yeah. The
So
FE is really scary.
so the word that you said was masculine FE is more threatening to you because you can never beat them.
Yeah.
You use the word beat. So your favorite TI. So do you feel very competitive with other people? You know, and that you want to be like the top person, like to be better than everyone. You know, because you're TI, so you're always trying to upgrade your logic and stuff. So when someone has masculine FE and it's like stronger than yours, it's like, oh, someone's better than me. Like, how do you?
It's I only feel like responsible to be good at I don't know, not maybe just TI. I don't think I want to be good at FE. It's just scary because like I don't want them to move my state, and then they manage to do that anyway. That's what I don't like.
Oh, you don't want anyone to move your emotions.
Yeah, and most people don't accept the savior FE. They're like the only ones who can do it.
What's wrong with having your emotions move though? Or like, what is the negative repercussion of that? Like, are you scared of feelings because it's the bottom? Like,
most feelings not, but the bigger ones, yeah, but I don't know. It's like I take certain states, and I feel comfortable, and then they come along and then they do something and I'm moved, and it's just a very annoying feeling. Like, I don't know how to explain.
Oh, I no, I get it. So because your lead sleep, homeostasis is super important to you, and steady state. So if someone comes in and disrupts that, you're like, what the hell? Then I have to, like go back to homeostasis again.
Exactly. And when I'm like alone at my desk and and everyone's left, but I hear someone, and I'm already getting a bit like anxious on what's gonna happen. Are they gonna come in or not? Yeah.
Right. And you're all IT, right? So so it's so yeah. Oh my God, there's a lot of things that's Can you just schedule it in like because in like you're a double server, right? So you should be balanced with control and chaos. So can you just be like, okay, you know what, this is chaos time, this is like peace and quiet time? Is that something?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good. But
sorry to cut you off, but can you talk about that too, like being balanced with organizing and
well, I don't feel that balanced. I feel like I'm leaning heavily on to OI actually. I feel like when I was younger, I was better at the balancing those two, but now it's like I really don't want to deal with chaos anymore. It's like yeah, that's why I thought I was an IJ, right?
I mean, you are an IJ. You're an IPIJ. So you are.
Yeah. I think I can say that I'm sort of feel balanced on the S and N coin, but if it's about organizing and gathering, so it's kind of funny when I gather all day long because I'm consuming.
Yeah.
But like my state is really that of an IJ, and I hate chaos. I don't want it. So, yeah.
So like everything that you're doing, like what is the point though? Like what is what are you trying to
Exactly.
like what are you trying to achieve? So I'm like because
Nothing.
no, because I'm hearing your story right now. Okay, so this is the Evelyn story. Like you like to process information in your head and everything that you're interested in that you've learned that you've consumed. You try to block off the tribe as much as possible. You know, you only do the minimal amount of engagement, um, so that you can learn more information and you can consume more and learn more. But what are you doing all any of these for? Like what is like what's the end goal here? Like what's the point? Like what's the like why are you doing all this stuff? Like what's the point? You know, yeah, you learn. What's the point of learning? What do you do? What are you gonna do with what you learn? Like what's the point? Like I'm trying to
Yeah, I don't know. No, but I actually thought I was gonna make so an album because I thought that's what I really want to do in life. But then it kind of went wrong because I'm visual, right? So I can't sing, I can't hit pitch
yeah.
and blast fast, so it's super difficult. So I'm now kind of like maybe not my best idea. And no, I'm not gonna stop, but now I'm learning about typologies, and I don't know what the end result is going to be. No,
But Taylor Swift is feminine masculine like you are. So and she's a singer and she makes music. So and she's visual, so she shouldn't be able to hear pitch either, but she can. So what's the what's like I'm just so I mean
yeah,
but and also the second part of that question is if you're visual, why don't you pursue art that is in the visual sense? You know, like painting, drawing, sculpting, whatever, like visual related graphic design, animation.
yeah. I wish I knew. I don't know. I just feel like yeah, good question. But I feel like I have an idea in my head that I can only do with music, but like I like art and all that if other people made it, but like I have all these visuals in my head that I want to like put out in music. I don't know why music, but yeah. But I mean, I had a lot of good feedback to it. It's not that bad actually.
Okay.
I'm overreacting, but yeah, it just takes a lot of work. I feel like someone who has blast first, they just make one song every day. I can't do that. What was the first part of your question?
Well, no, I asked you like you're working on all this, like you're doing all these things, and then I'm like, what's the point? What's the point? What are you trying to do with your life? Like, what is the point, right? And then you're like, well, I really want to make music. That's what you said, right? But then you told me all the problems with your type and how it goes against making music. Like you said, you can hear pitch, you know, you're visual, like
Yeah, but I'm still positive. Like my second album will be better than my first. It's just slow going, but I haven't given up yet.
Okay. So your goal then is to succeed as a musician. Like
No, just the process of making it, and I don't have any high goals. Like I don't want to make a career out of it. It's definitely not.
oh, okay. Do you have
Yeah.
any career goals then? If the music is not the career goal, if that's just a hobby?
Well, I think I'm pretty happy with my job right now, and I have to soon do another exam for a promotion, so I'm fine. The job suits me.
What's your job? What is your role?
Uh, It's IT stuff. So like it's a mixture of coding, administration, database, bit of help desk, bit of everything actually.
Oh, that's a perfect job for INTPs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I'm really glad I have this job, and everything else I'm doing is just a hobby. I don't think it's wise to make my career out of music.
Yeah, there you go. That's your double observer right there. Like you know that's reality, right? You know, like, okay, yeah, obviously the IT makes the money and the music is
Yeah.
the hobby. And
Yeah.
I don't even think you're aware of this, but your the fact that you want to do music, that's your SF, that's your fourth animal. Because like we're all interested in our fourth animal, right? And your fourth animal
Right.
is SF.
Yeah.
So you want to create something artistic, which is music in your case, which is SF. And you said you're singing too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's blast. Singing is blast, right? So you are using your fourth animal
I
and you
am.
are
Yeah.
interested in it, you know.
Yeah. I
It's
guess.
just that this is that's like singing is your preferred outlet for it. It's like, you know, there's different outlets for
Oh,
it.
I hate singing. I don't know what to do.
Well, you chose to do it. Like you
Yeah. I guess I just want to make music, and yeah, it's kind of weird that when you put so much effort in the instrumental and writing of the lyrics, and then ask someone else to sing is kind of plus it's sort of underground style, so but it is still SF, I guess.
it is, yeah, it's SF.
Yeah.
That music is, yeah, I mean, the process of you creating it is not SF. It's you know, it could be NT, ST, you know, but the end result is SF, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, like Eminem is blast last also, and he's the best rapper in the world, right? So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's still it's a very slow going.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Evelyn. I have two last questions for you, and then we'll wrap up the interview. Okay.
Okay.
So first one is, how do you think you can avoid? How do you think you can avoid tribe tidal wave by doing a little bit more FE to, you know, be a little bit more balanced? You know, I know you don't care about it, but you kind of do because you're making music, right? And
Yeah.
the measure of success for how well your album does is how many people like it and maybe purchase it. So you do need the tribe. So what is like the bare minimum FE you need to do to get the tribe on board with your art, essentially? What do you think? Like,
Hmm.
and you can make a guess. It's okay.
I guess I'm gonna have to like first ask more tribe inputs instead of wanting to do everything by myself.
Okay.
And yeah, what else? Tell me.
Oh, you want me to tell you? Oh, okay. Okay. Before I tell you, I want to follow up with that question. Your when you're making your music, right? It's so I noticed with ST people, they don't like people they don't like to ask for help. Like you like to do everything yourself. Like
Yeah,
your
true.
work is very personal to you. Um, when is it okay to ask help in your case? Like, is there any time where it's okay to ask for help?
Well, I guess I've totally changed my mind about it, because the first time I did everything myself and it was too difficult. So now I'm actually asking help for everything. Oh, not everything, but like certain techniques. Let people review my lyrics. That's also a good idea. And also like, what's the balance of the production? Like, is it overproduced, or does it still have sort of underground edge, which is it's important for the style? So yeah, definitely asking for tribe inputs. But the first time I didn't do it at all, and now I'm thinking like doing every couple of weeks perhaps.
What kind of music do you make, by the way?
Gothic.
Gothic. Okay.
Yeah.
And then are your lyrics very offensive? Like,
No,
no, they're not. Okay.
I don't think so. No,
Oh, you're not. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Okay. I guess you're not aware of the tribe perspective.
I'm not.
Okay. Okay, so two things, because you asked me earlier what you should do, right? Because I was trying to gather some information from you. I think the first mindset that is good to keep is like kind of like it's a you know Eminem, right? The singer. Okay, so one of his quote is like, "You have enemies, good. That means you actually stand for something." So that's one of his quote, right?
Yeah.
Like he'll make a song, it's very offensive. He'll piss off a lot of people, but a lot of people also love him. So it's like, you know, because he stood up for his craft, his message. He didn't give a shit about like what everyone else thought. He actually created a bigger fan base, you know. So people either love him or they hate him. But the people that love him, they absolutely love him, right? The people that hate him, they hate him, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
and now he's the best. So I don't think it's bad to get tribe hate. Tribe hate is a good measure of how much tribe love you can also have. You know, the more intense a tribe hate is, it could also mean that the intensity of tribe love can also be just as big. The second thing is that I think your biggest problem right now is you're unaware of the tribe perspective. So that's pretty much what you have to do then. You have to gather the tribe's perspective. And the way to do that is play. So, and like, do you have a YouTube channel where you put your music up?
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you get tribe feedback from the people, like when you put your music out?
Yeah, I got some feedback. Yeah.
Do you engage with them, or do you just like read and then you run away? Like you, or do you talk to the tribe about like their feedback? Like do you try to get to know what they like? Because it's FE, right? So it's pretty much yeah.
But at first I didn't quite like agree.
That's okay. You don't have to agree. But
Like, sometimes they would like point out all of the obvious flaws. Like it wasn't just like the mix was bad, but I kind of like I actually let them do mix a song, and then I realized I didn't like that version. It sounded like a pop song, so I guess I couldn't really do that. But
oh, they wanted a pop song, but you wanted.
I didn't want a pop song, so. But I understand from their point of view that mine was too underground, and then they were pointing out flaws that I kind of did on purpose. I think kind of.
You didn't what? Sorry.
Kind of flaws that I kind of did on purpose.
Oh, okay, okay.
They thought that's bad, and then they said that's a really good part, but I thought that part sucked.
Yeah.
So they feel that it was totally off actually. But yeah, so if I do it the way they say, it would be very different from what I actually first intended to make.
Right.
So yeah.
I mean, you know,
but I guess I can do it now because I've done it now my way the first time, so I guess I can like do it their way now.
Yeah.
I don't mind that much because it's the second time.
Well, you know Gary Vaynerchuk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know he said that the tribe will tell you what's good and what's bad, right? So you don't know, because so he always tells people just put out whatever content you like, because you don't know what's going to be good or not. So you put up enough content that you like, eventually one of the content that you like, the tribe will also like, and then once that aligns, like what you like and what the tribe likes aligns, after you put out like shitload of content, then now you know what the perfect sweet spot is of like the style that works for you, that the tribe also likes, you know. So it's like,
yeah, so
you have to
do
last. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
There you go. So I think that's just what you got to do, is make more. See it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. All right. So Evelyn, I'm just gonna say one last thing before we wrap this interview. You know, even though you are your specific type and you supposedly like try to avoid people, the fact that you went through this interview is very growth mindset. So, you know, I'm gonna give you props for that. Like this is the hardest thing for your type to do. And as far as I've like been making interviews, a lot of people like your type would run away and not do the interview.
Yeah, I
And,
almost ran away.
yeah, you wanted to run away, but you didn't do it. You didn't run away. You did it. So you are, you know, you're doing something like like base. It doesn't matter what you have said earlier. It's like your action. Your action said that, you know what, I want to grow. You know, fuck it. I don't care what like, you know, like I'm not gonna be those other, you know, IPs. You know, I'm gonna. And the fact that you're making music too, you're putting it on YouTube. So this are all like growth mindset stuff. So regardless of what you're thinking in your head, the actions shows that you are moving towards the right direction. So, you know, I give you props for that. So good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, thanks for coming out, and we'll see you around the community. And then
Okay.
I'll ask you after this interview who that person is.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So bye everyone. And thanks again, Evelyn.